Let's talk about the Las Vegas Convention Center and what they're going to be hosting this month. Now, okay. Vegas just threw us a few curveballs this month. Dolly's out, Blake's in, and Gwen Stefani is about to make Sphere history. November's lineup is absolutely not what it was just 2 weeks ago, and honestly, that's what I love about this city. Vegas changes faster than anyone else, and the next few months are absolute proof. Now let's just start with the biggest headline news because that's what's shaking up the Strip. Miss Gwen Stefani herself just made history as the first woman ever to headline the Sphere. And yes, my friends, she's bringing No Doubt back together for it. There is no doubt that I'm gonna be there, and there is absolutely no doubt that you're gonna hopefully be able to get tickets too. They're gonna be playing at the Sphere May 2026, and you better believe I'm gonna be there. Now, Blake Shelton is going to be doing a really cool thing. He's stepping into a brand new residency at the Coliseum at Caesars Palace starting in January 2026. Dolly Parton's previously planned Vegas shows have unfortunately been canceled. That does free up some space for a new headliner later this winter, so stay tuned for that announcement. Hopefully we'll get to see her in Vegas later this year. She's been an idol of mine since I was little. Let's say it together, everybody. We love you, Dolly. We'll see you in Vegas soon. Some other exciting things that are happening over at the Sphere is going to be that the Eagles actually extended their residency once again. They're going to be running through February 2026, and ain't nobody sad about that. Now, for those of you like me who maybe couldn't afford to go see Backstreet Boys, or you might have missed that window to buy tickets, good news for you, the Backstreet Boys has been extended as well. The BSB experience is going to be running at the Sphere through February with multiple Valentine's Week shows, so be sure to save those holiday pennies and let's go to a show in 2026. Zayn Malik announced his first ever Vegas residency is going to be happening at the Dolby Live Theater at Park MGM. 7 nights are going to be kicking off in January 2026, and that sounds like it's going to be a really cool show. And of course, Miss Kelly Clarkson's going to be returning to the Coliseum with her new Studio Sessions residency. That kicks back off on November 7th, and it's been all the rage. Okay, now that we've covered some of the new announcements, some of the things that are shaking up the Strip, let's talk about everything else that's happening in Las Vegas this November. Just in case you're wondering, I'm standing downtown in downtown Las Vegas in the Arts District. I do this every now and then where I come down here and I look around at all the new art and murals. This one happened to be a Ghostbusters mural. So while I'm still filming this in October, I thought it'd be kind of fun to kick off this video here. And something else I'm doing that's a little different this month is I'm actually doing something I've never ever done in my events videos, like ever. So today's the first. Here we go. I'm gonna be kicking off November with sports. I know, right? This is crazy. Obviously, we have to start with the biggest sports event that's happening in Vegas. It's taking over the whole city. Everybody knows about it. You know what I'm talking about, right? The Las Vegas National Horse Show is happening at the South Point, November 10th through 16th. Calling all horse lovers. No? I'm sensing like some confusion or some weird energy here. Is the horse show not the biggest sports thing happening? Did I mess this up or what? Oh, wait a minute. Are you talking about that thing with the cars? Of course you are. Of course, that's right. Formula One, the Heineken Silver Las Vegas Grand Prix is returning, of course, once again to Las Vegas, November 20th through the 22nd. Yes, the horse show's cool, but this is a little bit better. For those of you who do visit Las Vegas for the 3 to 6 months prior to the world's fastest racing cars on the Strip, I am sorry. For those who love F1, yay! All kidding aside, F1 is back for yet another year of burning rubber and pissing off our locals. It's, basically a private party that takes over the entire Strip with concerts and celebrities and the smell of burnt rubber. It's like $90 to park and you can't really get around very easily and it's kind of a pain in the butt. So for those of you who don't love that, please join me in a very cool experience that's happening with the Neon City Festival once again this year. I'll be talking about that later today, but just know that there's a cool event happening that's free for all of us locals who are pissed. For those of you who are excited about F1, please go and enjoy it. Okay, let's talk about what's going on at Allegiant Stadium this month when it comes to sports. We've got the Raiders coming back for 3 home games. They're going to be playing against the Jacksonville Jaguars on November 2nd and the Dallas Cowboys rivalry, of course, on November 17th. The UNLV Rebels versus New Mexico is the first of 3 home games that are also going to be happening this month. They're kicking off on November 1st. Then they move over to Utah State to play them on November 15th and then Hawaii on the 21st. Of course, Vegas Golden Knights are in full swing this season with several home games to enjoy, so be sure to check their website for dates and times. But also, don't forget to be sure to support our other hockey team. Did you know that we have the Henderson Silver Knights? If you didn't know that, you better go check it out. They've got a great website with an off-strip experience, and if you like hockey, you're gonna love them. Now, do you love basketball? good news for you. You can experience 4 days of action at the Players Era Division I Men's Basketball Tournament at MGM Grand Garden Arena, November 25th. And don't forget about the Women's Basketball Tournament that's going to be happening on the 26th and the 27th. For baseball lovers, calling all baseball lovers, you will be excited to know that the MLB Awards are going to be happening at the Cosmopolitan this month on the 13th. Our Las Vegas Aces home opener watch event is going to be happening on November 1st, where you can celebrate the WNBA champions return with a live viewing party and, of course, player appearances. If you're a UFC fan like I am, you get UFC Vegas 110 happening with Onama versus Garcia on November 1st. This is going to be a stacked fight card featuring rising featherweight contenders, of course, and a high-stakes matchup. So UFC is UFC, do UFC right. Also, UFC Fight Night's going to be happening with Bonham versus Brown. That's going to be on November 8th, where two welterweights face off in an explosive main event that could shift rankings heading into 2026. So maybe tune in. And then Dana White's Contender Series finale is going to be happening on the 12th, which is where MMA's brightest prospects compete for a chance to earn a UFC contract in the season's final episode. Lots going on with UFC this month for sure. If you have not visited the Las Vegas ballpark in Summerlin, you definitely should check it out. College Baseball Fall Classic is going to be happening on November 9th through 10th. This is an event where top collegiate teams are going to play exhibition games under the lights of one of America's most beautiful ballparks. If you haven't been, definitely check it out. Okay, let's move on to comedy. This is one of my favorite parts of this video. I love comedy. I love seeing live comedy. If you are a fan of comedy, please be sure to check out at the Cosmopolitan this month. You can see Chelsea Handler November 1st and 29th and Daniel Tosh on the 8th. If you want to jump over to Planet Hollywood, you can see Jeff Dunham on the 2nd and Kathy Griffin on the 8th. I haven't been to Fontainebleau for comedy yet, but this month they're going to be hosting Trevor Noah on the 8th, which is kind of exciting. And Jay Leno's going to be over at the MGM Grand on November 1st, along with Heather McDonald with her Juicy Scoop Live experience on the 14th. Martin Lawrence is going to be bringing down the house at the Resorts World with the Y'all Still Know What It Is tour on November 15th. And Trey Kennedy, the Relatable tour, is going to be happening on November 8th over at the Venetian, along with Nurse John, the Short Staffed tour on the 15th. If you want to get off the Strip or at least go a ways down the Strip, you can check out Earthquake on November 7th over at the M Resort Spa and Casino. Now, Wise Guys is a local place in town that I like to plug as often as possible with multiple locations. I don't go through the entire list of who they have this month, but I am going to mention a couple of names this month because they're kind of cool. Colin Quinn's going to be at Wise Guys on the 7th and the 8th, and Nimesh Patel is going to be there on the 10th. Tom Segura is going to be playing at Park MGM on November 21st, and Sheng Wang is going to be over at the Encore Theater on the 1st. If you like the Virgin, it is absolutely off the Strip, a really cool place to check out any kind of a show. They've got the Tinfoil Hat comedy with Sam Tripoli and Eddie Bravo happening on the 21st. And I do encourage you to do the locals thing, go to a locals casino if you can, because there are often some pretty cool events. This month at the Durango Station Casino, you can see Jimmy Faya, the Everybody Calm Down tour on the 29th. Okay, let's jump back over to concerts and finish out that entire conversation I kicked off this video with, starting with the Neon City Festival, which is a free event in downtown Las Vegas, returning for its 2nd year to hopefully balance the displacement of any visitors or locals who want to avoid F1 or aren't very excited about it. This year is bigger, bolder, and super bright. It's going to be amazing. Again, it is a free, all ages celebration of music, food, and art, and it's happening November 21st and 22nd. The Holo Holo Music Festival is also going to be happening downtown at Las Vegas Events Center. This is 2 days of island vibes featuring reggae, R&B, and Pacific artists that are going to be celebrating music and culture all day on November 22nd. It's a really cool event. I've gone one time and I probably should go back. Keeping things pumping, the T-Mobile Arena's got a pretty sick lineup this month with Junior H and the Sad Boys Live and Broken Tour on the 1st. Brandy and Monica together again on the 7th. Cannot wait for that one. And NBA Youngboy, the Massa Tour on the 9th. Park MGM is going to be hosting some cool stuff this month. I know that these guys are a residency, but I like to bring it up anyway. The New Kids on the Block, my friends, the Right Stuff Las Vegas residency is still happening for several dates, but that's happening over at the Park MGM Theater. And of course, the holiday season cannot officially begin until Miss Mariah Carey sings All I Want for Christmas Is You. Well, this year, the Park MGM is going to be hosting her for her world-famous Christmas concert spectacular. It's happening on November 28th, and then it goes through some dates in December. MGM Grand Garden Arena is going to be hosting the 26th Annual Latin Grammy Awards, which is pretty exciting. That's happening on the 13th, and the Jonas Brothers are coming in on the 29th. Miss Alanis Morissette is picking up her residency over at Caesars Palace starting on the 1st and the 2nd, so stay tuned for more dates coming from her. And as I mentioned before, Miss Kelly Clarkson's picking her dates back up for her residency, so check the website, you'll get all the details there. The Wynn is going to be hosting Miss Leah Salonga on the 7th, as well as Borns on the 16th, which is a pretty stacked lineup along with their comedy. I'm pretty excited about what the Wynn is doing. Mammoth is going to be playing at Mandalay Bay on the 1st, along with Santana at the House of Blues on the 5th. Los Tigres del Norte is going to be playing on the 8th as well, and Violent and Gottmik also on the 13th. Oh, and if you're a fan of Earl Sweatshirt, they're going to be there on the 11th. Over at Virgin Hotels, from a concert perspective, you can check out Perfume de Gardenia, I hope I said that right, on the 18th, and Marisela on the 29th. And to kick off the holiday season, yes, it's the holiday season. I don't know if you realize that, but we're November and they started putting Christmas stuff out like 6 months ago. Mannheim Steamroller is going to be bringing their Christmas show starting on the 15th of November to the Cosmopolitan, along with the Stray Cats with Midnight Cowgirls on the 19th. I'm stoked about both of those, I'm not going to lie. If you're a fan of that sexy, swanky music that we used to hear in the 90s, Kenny G is going to be playing at the Palms Casino on November 5th, and Laci McCarty is going to be doing a show on the 8th. What's it with all these like 90s, 2000 stars coming back around? They must need some money. It's okay, let's give them some money and go see their shows. Yandel is also going to be playing at the Palms on November 11th, as well as Spirit Box on the 13th and Babyface on the 14th. And a concert I'm pretty stoked about is KEM on the 21st and Natalia Jimenez on the 29th. Palms is not messing around this month. Like I just said, those 2000s, late 90s, 2000 stars are all coming back around. Planet Hollywood's going to be hosting Jessica Simpson live in Las Vegas on November 8th. And Fontainebleau is going to be hosting Vampire Weekend on the 7th, as well as Heart on the 12th, 14th, and 15th. Brooklyn Bowl is always a really cool spot to check out if you haven't been there. It's located over by the Link. What I like about this place is that they always have really cool events that don't have to do with celebrities. They're going to be hosting the 90s 2000s night. It's a big Halloween party, but they're doing it on the 1st of November. They're keeping that Halloween spirit going. They also are going to have Alexandra Kay Second Wind Tour on the 6th, as well as a couple of other things that are happening. They have a huge lineup, but those are the two most notable. Molly Hatchet live in Las Vegas is going to be playing at the Westgate on the 20th, as well as Jefferson Starship for the 50th anniversary tour over at the Smith Center on the 22nd as well. Leona Lewis is starting her Christmas residency, which I'm pretty stoked about, at the Venetian. It's going to be starting on November 1st, but it does run all the way through to early January. And then Jackson Browne, of course, is going to be performing as well for several dates. The Orleans is going to be hosting Little River Band, the 50th anniversary tour on the 1st, and good old Engelbert Humperdinck, A Winter World of Love, a night of holiday classics and greatest hits on the 28th and the 29th. Concerts for the locals and those who kind of choose to venture off the strip are really important in my opinion. Here's a couple to consider. One of them is the Las Vegas Philharmonic is going to be presenting Beethoven's Fifth at the Smith Center on November 1st, and Coco Melon, a sing-along experience for you and the family at the Orleans on the 1st. Andy Grammer is going to be doing his Monster Tour at Red Rock Station Casino, that's way off the strip, November 15th. And the Righteous Brothers and Bill Medley with Bucky Hurd is going to be over at South Point Casino on the 18th, 19th, and 20th. Lily Rose is going to be playing at Santa Fe Casino on the 21st, and the Drifters, Platters, and Cornell Gunther's Coasters is going to be at Sam's Town. Oh my God, I haven't said Sam's Town in forever. That's going to be happening on the 22nd. Another cool show that's kind of a throwback, if you will, is Empire Records on the 29th. That's also going to be happening at Red Rock Station Casino. Okay, since I'm already talking about sort of off the strip-ish local stuff, let's move on to local events, not just concerts, where we can talk about all the things happening in Vegas. And just as a quick pause here, since my entire purpose is being on the YouTubes and the internets to convince you to move to my neon hometown, I think it's time for me to do a shameless plug, which is, have we met? Hi, my name is Laci. Oops, let me start that over. I just hit my My name's Laci McCarty, and I am your Las Vegas relocation and lifestyle bestie and expert. If you live in Las Vegas already or are even toying with the idea of maybe relocating or investing in my beautiful neon hometown, do yourself a huge favor, my friends. Scan the QR code on the screen. Let's set up a time to discuss your plans. I would love to just kind of talk with you, even if you're kind of early in that process, because honestly, I'm going to be real with you. If you can't tell, I'm never going to pressure you, and let's stay connected because you never know. Maybe we could be friends. Maybe you could be my neighbor. Okay, let's move on to local events. Get back to it. Believe it or not, most people living in Las Vegas almost never ever visit the Strip. Why? Well, you can probably guess. Because there's so many local options, right? And probably because it's trafficky and kind of crazy. But there are really a lot of local options. We are a regular city, and we have things like the El Dorado Days Rodeo, which was formerly known as the Las Vegas Days Rodeo. It's an annual Western-themed event that's celebrating Las Vegas's history. This is happening for 2 days at the Core Arena, November 7th and 8th. Of course, one of my favorite events that happens every single month is First Friday, starting on the first Friday of every month. This month, it's November 1st. It's happening right where I'm standing right now, actually, every single month. It's a very, very cool locals event that you as a tourist can also join. It's a monthly art walk featuring local artists, food trucks, live bands, and it fills the streets of this area right here. I think you would love it if you came and joined us. Fun time. The Las Vegas Dia de los Muertos Festival is happening on November 1st and 2nd. This is a cool cultural celebration of life and remembrance with art, performances, and traditional altars and experiences. Be sure to check it out if you've never been. Las Vegas's Veterans Day Parade and celebration is happening on the 11th. This is one of the largest Veterans Day parades in the country, honoring local and national heroes with floats and marching bands, and it does also happen down here in the Downtown Arts District. And this one kind of sounded fun. I don't know if this sounds fun to you, but Nerf Mania is happening at Veterans Memorial Park on November 14th. Avatar: The Last Airbender is going to be happening in concert over at the Smith Center on the 8th, as well as the Disney's Lion King at Smith Center on the 19th through the 30th. This next section of the video is just kind of other cool stuff that I thought I would mention that didn't really fit in the other categories. Let's talk about the SEMA show, my friends. SEMA 2025 is happening November 4th through 7th. This is the premier automotive specialty products trade event that features the latest in aftermarket innovation and car culture. It is dope. It happens every year. If you've never been and you're a car person, what are you doing with your life? So that's it for November. I don't know about you, but I think we have a pretty rad, pretty dope lineup for this month and the next month and the next month and the next month. The city is not slowing down anytime soon, and that's what I love about living here. If you are even considering investing in Las Vegas, or you think maybe you want to make my hometown your hometown too, do yourself the biggest favor and scan the damn QR code on the screen. I don't do these videos to not do this with you. That's the entire reason I'm on the internet. So let's work together, let's figure it out. Otherwise, as my daddy always said, you ought to be having fun. I'm gonna go be having fun. I'm gonna go buy myself some tickets to some stuff happening this month. And if you see me out and about, I hope that we're both having fun together. I'll see you next time.